guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Planty video. My name is Shannon and this is Planted 386. Thank you so much for stopping by. If it's your first time, I appreciate you for clicking and joining me today. I understand that there is a plethora of Planty content out on the internet, and so anytime someone chooses to spend a little of their time with me, I'm always very appreciative. And if you're returning, thank you for your support, your likes, shares, subscribes, all of it. I always look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments down below. So I just want you to understand that I never take those things lightly, and I'm just so appreciative of this community. So today's video, we're gonna do a little tour of my Milsbo tall. The last time I showed my cabinets was in my houseplant tour, which was several months ago now. And as we know, in the planty world, things are always growing, changing, and evolving. And so I thought I would just walk you through my setup, just kind of what's in there, what's growing in there right now, and just sort of update you. Most of my plants are in this little corner that we're in right now. It's a very small space, and so we don't have a ton of room to move about. Filming in here can get a little bit snug sometimes, but I'm excited to show you what's in the cabinet, just talk about what's the setup, you know, in terms of lighting, the fan, and where I got all of those things in case you're curious. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Just before we get into it, while I have your attention, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is so wild to me to just to be there. I really never anticipated that, honestly. I just wanted to catalog my plants and make a few planty friends. I really cannot believe it. But that being said, I thought perhaps once we hit 1,000 subscribers, maybe I would do a Q&A and just see if you guys would be interested in that. I know personally, I really enjoy getting to know my favorite planty creators a little bit more in terms of what their life is like outside of plants. So if that is something you guys would be interested in, let me know down below and we'll do that. I figure I could just have you guys ask me the questions in perhaps Instagram on a post over there. So if you're not following on Instagram, make sure you do that. The same handle, Planted386, and that's all over the internet. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, but primarily I work off of TikTok and Instagram. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know if you're curious at all in that, and if so, I would be happy to do it. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I figure we should start with the setup because that is probably the least exciting part of the whole thing. But basically, I just am running off Barrina lighting. These are the magnetic Barrina bars. And I have a mix of the white and the yellow, which you'll see in a second. Up here I have 3 of them. Second shelf I have 3, and then this shelf I have 2. So it's kind of like my lighting configuration. And then I've also got some up here as well. I personally love these lights. I think they're fantastic. I know they're a little bit controversial, it seems, but I've been running off Barrina lighting my entire planty journey, and I've had good luck. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And then I do have just this one fan that could use a little bit of a dusting. It does have 3 settings. I know most people are using the AC Infinity fans, but I don't know. I feel like they don't put out as much air as I would like. And so for a big cabinet like this kind of enables me to use just one fan. I did find it off of Amazon, and I do just have it hanging from the top. This cabinet does have 2 holes that were drilled at the bottom that John drilled back when we first got it. That's probably the hardest part of the process and setting up one of these cabinets, in addition to getting the glass to go in. That was also challenging, but yeah, that's pretty much my setup. We're gonna start with this shelf here. We'll go all the way down and then I'll show you what I have up top. But basically, if you caught my last video, I showed you this little Clarinervium hybrid. This is Clarinervium Kajori. No, is it Clarinervium Bintang Kajori? Yeah, that's the cross. Anthurium Clarinervium cross Bintang Kajori. Sorry, that was a mouthful. Pushing out a new leaf. Seems to be recovering from the pot up. This was the little leaf that it was pushing out when I did that pot up. And yeah, seems to be coming back around, which is exciting. If you see this on the green escape, oh my gosh, if you see the photo of it, it is such a cool looking Anthurium. So I'm pretty excited to see where that goes. I do have it cloche just for now. I do plan on taking it out of the cloche. I just felt like it could use the extra humidity, at least for the time being. But yeah. And then back here, I just have a little cutting of Hoya Wyetii. I'm going to be taking that to the plant swap tomorrow, actually, because I have the variegated form here that I am trying to reroot. Today is actually watering day, so if things look a little bit dry, it has been 7 days since their last watering. I try to only water once a week if I can get away with that. And yeah, so I plan on keeping this one and getting rid of the green form. This is my most recent Planty purchase that I don't know, I've had him for maybe a month now, but I am so impressed by how quickly this guy has grown. It is crazy to me. So this is Hoya Nicholsoniae New Guinea Ghost. And yeah, since I've had him, he's put out this entire shoot. And these are the first 2 leaves that I'm seeing. Such a beautiful Hoya. Cannot wait until that really takes off. I would love to have like a nice full pot. Next to it, I have Hoya Nova Ghost. This is another one that I've talked about recently in a recent video. I'm constantly looking at this guy, hoping for some growth, but so far nothing. I've had this far longer than the Nicholsoniae, and so it's a little disheartening that it's not done anything. It is rooting like crazy in here, and some of you have said that this is a pretty slow Hoya to take off, but once it takes off, it's going to like explode. So I'm kind of hoping for that. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if it even has an active growth point. I don't know. We shall see. This is Hoya parasitica black margin. This is actually a cutting off of my mother plant that I will show you in just a second. But I am shocked at how quickly this has taken off, to be honest with you. I propagated it in moss and then transitioned it into soil, and it is doing amazing. I think this is such a beautiful Hoya. I don't really hear it talked about, and that's unfortunate because I think she's really, really lovely. And once you can get this started, it really just takes off. I did struggle with my mother plant. I'll kind of talk about that in a second, but which is why I took these cuttings. But yeah, amazing. So yeah, I plan on keeping this one in soil. The other one is in pond. Next to it is just a little variegated watermelon peperomia, which I think is so cute. I love this plant. I'm always kind of checking her out. She's always putting out some new leaves, and I actually just have her in water. I find that with peperomia, they seem to do best for me in just water. So that's how I have her growing. Next to that is my Hoya Sunrise. And again, another really fun surprise. This basically, in my Hoya updates video, I talked about potentially getting rid of this Hoya because it seems to give me trouble, or it was giving me trouble. It just never grew. It's one of my oldest Hoyas, and you guys recommended putting it in higher lighting. So I did that, and bam, like she is doing the most. All of this is new growth. All of this from here up is new growth since that video, which is just mind-boggling to me. I'm so pleasantly surprised. This is just a little prop vessel that John got me off of Timo, and basically anything I put in here propagates amazingly. These little vessels are fantastic. It's a little bit gross. That's kind of a downside of these little vessels, is they are hard to clean, but I find that the plant doesn't mind, honestly. It's just a little bit of algae, and maybe perhaps if I got like a skinny little bottle brush, but honestly, you guys, it doesn't really bother me. The plant doesn't mind it, so I don't mind it. And that is the first shelf. Down to the second shelf, you can see how the lighting changes. So these are the soft yellow lights. Personally, I prefer these soft yellow lights over the bright white. And that's kind of why I mix them. I kind of wanted to try them both out, so I ordered a pack of each. And I find that the bright white is just, it's really sterile. Like, it's really, really bright. So yeah, I just kind of mix them. Going forward, I will only buy the soft yellow. But another cool feature is you can kind of turn these off if you don't want to run them all the time. They are individual like that. So that's another cool feature. And I did adhere these because these are magnetic and this is glass. Obviously that didn't work on the glass shelves. So I just used this super sticky tape that I found off of Temu. Again, I think I paid like $4 for a pack of 50 and they are so strong, you guys. Like, I would say it's comparable to like alien tape. All right, let's move into the shelf. So right here, we have Anthurium podophyllum. Super excited to see where this goes. I think this could potentially make an awesome parent plant. If you see this like in a mature form, it is such a cool Anthurium. I don't know if I said Hoya, but I meant Anthurium. Yeah, this is its newest leaf. I just recently potted it up. It does have some seriously chunky roots, so I think it needed more space, which is why it was a little bit slow to take off for me. This is something that I got from the Green Escape not so long ago. This is just another little prop vessel that John got me off of Temu. Again, anything I put in here seems to just take off. Right now, I just have this, I believe this is a gigas, a piece of my gigas, and honestly, I'm thinking about just tossing it in the bin. This plant is a spider mite situation, and I feel like that's partly causing issues with my Bella here, and so yeah, I'm thinking it's time to just part ways with this whole situation because I don't know, I got rid of the mother plant for that same reason, so I don't know why I'm keeping a cutting around. This is just some cuttings of my lipstick plant. Oh, she's called Mona Loa, I think. I think that's how you pronounce it. The mother plant got super leggy, and I have never really propagated a lipstick plant. So this is more experimental. Figured I would try it out, and if I do get some nice rooted cuttings, I'll just add it back to the pot. So that's kind of that. This is Hoya croniana. I am planning on taking this to the plant swap tomorrow as I do have a mother plant. These cuttings are well rooted and ready to go, so I'm going to be bringing that. In fact, I'm just going to move him up here so that I remember. This is my variegated Hoya Bella. Let me move this. Let's talk about this guy first. This is Hoya Matilde. As you can see, there's some die-off in here. I recently just potted this into soil from moss, so that's to be expected. Some of the cuttings are gonna take, some of them are not. And my plan with this is to get a Hoya Matilde started in soil because my other one is in pond. And I just kind of wanted to explore growing it in soil. So yeah, that's that guy. Really nothing to see there. Gonna move him up so we can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so this is my Hoya Bella, or my variegated Hoya Bella, and I love her so much. She has kind of been a challenge for me, honestly, mostly with spider mites. I had that issue with my green form one as well, and I just find that it's something that I have to kind of keep sprayed down, and I also need to keep it separated from any other plants. That is when I really started to have luck with my green form, and so I think that's the next step here. I'm going to get it out of this pot, this situation, and maybe move it to my Vitsjo shelf and just kind of see where that takes us. This is the mother plant to the Parasitica black margin that I just showed you, and you guys, this is so amazing to see. To be honest, I have had this about the same amount of time as I had the Hoya Sunrise. I got them both at the same plant swap. It was one of my first Hoyas, and look at the sun stressing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but all the spots are pink. So pretty. Yes, and it did nothing for me. It really did nothing for me for the longest time. And then I decided to propagate it because I was like, you know, maybe these cuttings will take off, worst case scenario, and I will actually get something out of this plant. So I took those props that you saw just a minute ago, and once I did that, the main vines just started to take off. So they go all the way over here. Once they give me the leaves, I will start to continue to wrap it around my little makeshift trellis. But yeah, I do have that growing in my homemade pond, and as you can see, she is doing amazing. Next is Hoya globulosa cuttings. I will show you my mother plant in just a minute, but it was starting to get way too big, and so I wanted to experiment with propagating this particular Hoya as I've never done so. And I have to say, it seems to be doing fine. I kind of expected some yellowing in some situations, but nothing. She's doing great, so I'm pleased about that. Right here is my Hoya carnosa Wilbur Graves China, and this is the original plant that I got off of a local grower. This had been on my wish list for a very long time, and she had such a beautiful specimen. It started out as just a 2-leaf or 3-leaf cutting, and since then I have propagated an entire pot of this. It just is such an easy Hoya to grow. And the thing is I'll show you in a minute the pot that I've propagated. Basically, a lot of the vines have kind of, like, the variegation just wasn't as beautiful as this. And so what I've decided to do is just to continue to prop from this vine until I get a nice full pot of this specific level of variegation. That is the goal. So as you can see, we do have this vine here. She's definitely starting to put out leaves, which is exciting. A little bit slower to take off. I'm thinking maybe if I moved her up to the brighter white light, she may take off a little quicker, but just trying to be patient. Like I said, I'm going to just continue to make cuttings until I have a nice, beautiful full pot. But my goodness, what a beautiful Hoya, and an easy one too. And she is also just growing in my homemade pond. And then next to that is my little Lux. I do need to repot this. She does have a nice chunky little leaf coming out. And yeah, I definitely need to repot this. I can just kind of tell. This is the most recent leaf, and I have to say I'm quite obsessed with this Anthurium. I understand why it gets all the hype. I actually got this as a tiny little seedling, and I'm just ever amazed by it. I think it is so stunning. It's been so easy also. And then right here are some props from the pot of Wilbur Graves. But as you can see, like, the variegation is so different. It just started throwing out majority like green leaves. And so anytime those green leaves happen, I just chop it. And I'm hoping to kind of, I already have a full pot of this, so I'm taking these to the plant swap tomorrow. And I have another pot down below. Like, that's how quickly this grows. It just grows like crazy. So I'll move that up there since those are going to the swap. And then this is kind of sad, you guys. I'm a little bit nervous here. This is my Anthurium crystallinum, the red crystallinum Indo version. And I got this recently off Green Escape. It is not doing well at all. I did recently repot it because I felt like it was drying out too quickly. And I don't know, she just doesn't seem happy, although she is pushing out a new leaf, so that's kind of promising. I expected her to abort this leaf because that was the one that it was coming out as I repotted it, so I just kind of expected that, but I don't know what this black is. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous, and I don't usually get nervous about Anthurium. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on them now. I may have to just put it in moss and just cloche it. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time in this pot and just kind of see where that goes. Hopefully she'll be okay. And then these are just some little runts of my crystallinum seedlings that I harvested those probably 5 months ago now at least. And these are, like I said, they're just a couple runts. I just don't have the heart to throw them away. I will be taking these to the swap tomorrow and just seeing if anybody is interested. This is from my mother crystallinum that I featured in my very first video on the channel. She is one of my most beloved Anthuriums, and sadly, she's not doing so well where I have her. I'm thinking about placing her outside, but I'm just kind of hoping to get through these colder months before doing that. I just don't want it to be too much of a shock. I just don't feel like she's getting the light that she needs. Yeah, and then moving down here, this is the final shelf. I just have the 2 lights, and that seems to be plenty for this space. I also like to have an option of a little bit lower lighting. And yeah, so let's get into it. This is, we'll start here. This is exciting. So it's kind of sad, also exciting. This is my Anthurium magnificum papillolaminum. I've showed her on the channel multiple times, but I feel like she's a cabinet queen. If she's not in the cabinet, she's just not happy. I tried moving her into ambient, and little by little, she just started to die back. So basically, this is the first leaf that she has put out. I've restarted this probably, I think this is the 3rd time I've restarted this Anthurium. She's very fussy for some reason. And yeah, just kind of hoping that, like, this leaf is still very soft. It still needs to harden off. Just kind of hoping that this is the start of a new day. You know what I mean? I just plan on keeping her in here as long as I can, and then I'll probably have to transition her outside once she outgrows the cabinet. Sometimes they just don't like it. Same situation with my Regale. I ended up having to move it outside because some of them just, they need to be outside for whatever reason. Mostly humidity, I'm sure, but this is my Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen, and I love her. I waited a long time for this plant. Oddly enough, it is a pretty common Hoya, as we know, but here, where I am from, it's not super easy to get your hands on. So yeah, she's doing well. She's producing vines and new shoots, and I think this is such a beautiful Hoya. I think it's, honestly, I think it's underrated. I know like a lot of people have it in their collections because it is so common, but I feel like it's not talked about enough. And I don't know, there's something so beautiful about it. The way that the leaves come in pink, just everything about it, really. I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. So yeah, excited to see where we go. Let me see if I can tuck her up, maybe that would be better. Okay, and then behind her, I have my Monstera albo, and this I've had for a while. This was probably my first, like, rare plant, if you will, and honestly, it's given me a little bit of a run for my money. It didn't in the beginning, but I did decide to propagate it because it got so leggy, and that might have been a bit of a mistake. Some of them are reverted. I tried to take the cuttings and just kind of like fill out the pot, and I mean, this is promising. It threw an all green leaf, and then it gave me this nice, pretty like half and half, but it's just been slow to grow. We're kind of yellowing up here, probably maybe spider mites, I don't know. I find that it does better in the cabinet, so I just kind of have her in here for now. So basically I have the 2 vines in this pot. I do have another one. It's throwing mostly green though, so I think I'm gonna bring it to the swap and see if anybody is interested. I do host local plant swaps, so yeah, it's actually tomorrow. And then this is the Mother Hoya globulosa that I was talking about. You guys, look at those leaves down there. Amazing, absolutely amazing, beautiful. But the vine, like, it was billowing over, just taking over, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to propagate this and kind of see what happens. And already where I cut, it's already throwing growth. So this one seems to be pretty easy to propagate. I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, I just think this is such a cool Hoya. Like, it's fuzzy, the leaves are awesome. Oh my goodness. I literally can't get enough of this plant. I stare at stare at it all the time. Okay, and then this is another pot. Let me just pull it out of that Wilbur Graves. And again, this is not even the mother pot. All of these cuttings were taken off of that original like super variegated vine that I showed you. Yeah, so this guy grows like crazy. Taking him to the swap. Hopefully somebody will be interested. I do not need all of these cuttings because like I said, I plan to just create like a pot full of the beautiful variegated leaves. Okay, and then right here is my Clarinervium. And if you've been around, you know, like she is precious to me. I adore her. She's got a new leaf coming. Definitely gonna have to figure out a new spot for her. But yeah, I think the Clarinervium is one of the most beautiful anthuriums out there. You can't tell me otherwise. There's a reason that it is just coveted, and I don't know. I know like the hype is surrounding all of these like fancy hybrids, but honestly, none of them, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think any of them come close to just how stunning the original OG Clarinervium is. She's been so easy to grow and such a joy to have. She's putting out flowers left and right. Here's another one. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm probably just gonna cut this old flower off because it's done. And then just, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm so impressed. And then up here is Anthurium SKG Crystal Silver crossed with Bessier Af. And this is another one that I've struggled to make happy in the past, but I think we've found I think we're in alignment. Let's just say that. I think we figured each other out. And yeah, I just think she's so pretty. She's so pretty. I love how elongated her leaves are. She is about to push another one. Everything is dry and needs water so bad. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup that I have for my Milsbo tall. In terms of humidity, I'm running at 47% right now, but the doors have been open. Once I get some water in there and kick the fan on, it will kick up to like 54%, which isn't really that great, honestly. I feel like it could be much better, but yeah, that's that. Now let's check out what's up top. And then I think we have time to cover the Vitsjo too. So maybe I'll talk through the Vitsjo shelf and then we'll save like the rest of this corner for a different day. You know, let's do that. Okay, so we're up here. You can kind of see how I have the lighting. That is just another perk of these lights is they are magnetic. I have the same thing going on at the top of the Vitsjo, but this just enables me to keep more plants up here and utilize the space on the top of the cabinet. So I don't know, I enjoy having that option. All right, so let's start off with this one in the back. This is Anthurium clavigerum. Another one I never really hear mentioned, but is so cool. So when you first get it, it's going to start off with just like, you know, a couple little fingers, if you will. And then it starts to get more and more and more as the plant matures. So this is its most recent leaf, still very soft. So it's still got a ton of expanding to do, but such a cool Anthurium, so cool. So yeah, that's her. She is like one that's gonna take up a lot of space. But yeah, I've really enjoyed growing this one. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is the little tips browning. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way it is. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I do have it growing in a glass vessel, no drainage, and it won't be that way forever. Once it's ready for a repot, it will go in just like a regular nursery pot. But yeah, I'm always experimenting with my Anthuriums. Sometimes they're in no drainage, sometimes they're not, but I'm kind of deciding that I want to transition them out of no drainage and into drainage. I do feel like overall they do better that way. But yeah. This is my Scindapsus. I actually restarted this from my mother plant. I didn't restart it, I just took a bunch of cuttings and I think this is so beautiful. So this is Scindapsus trebii Moonlight. Ugh, beautiful. Like the light is not even doing it justice. Can you guys see how beautiful the silver? It looks like it's been painted. Yeah. If the mic is picking up music, John is outside. He is cleaning out the hot tub. So if you hear that, sorry. Okay, hold on. This is the Wilbur Graves. This is my mother plant. All of this was taken from that one vine. Basically, once the vine gave me enough like leaves, I just took several cuttings and they pretty much all took. And as you can see, most of them are throwing just green. The lighting is not great, huh? There you go. Yeah, so a lot of them just threw green. However, this vine is starting to look promising. So that's one that I will probably propagate from. And then I'll just keep chopping away at this one until I don't know, we either get a full pot of that variegation or, and then finally I'll probably just pass this on once I have my pot of variegated leaves. This vine's looking promising though, so yeah, that's looking good. She sure does grow like crazy, I'll tell you that. Like this is one that is really just no fuss, you guys. Let me kind of, there you go. Okay, and then up here, another Hoya that just loves to do its own thing is my Hoya Commingiana. I have propped this, chopped this. I've never had luck getting the propagations to root, but in terms of like it recovering from a chop, this thing has no issues. Anytime you cut it, it's just gonna start again and not give you any fuss about it. So yeah, I've just decided that I wanna kind of let this one go as it may, and I think it's gonna be beautiful in the end to just kind of like trail over all the shelving. That's kind of my goal. It's a little wily, but I don't know, I think that's the charm, at least for me. I kind of love it. I kind of love it. If you've been around, you know I love a good like Riley plant. Is that right? Wiley or Riley? You know what I mean. One that just does its thing, has character, and makes you say, huh, look at that guy. And then down here is one of two of my monkey tail cactuses. He's got a little offshoot coming. I got these maybe a couple months ago now from a local grower. It was on my wish list for a long time, and so I'm so happy to have it. It has grown a lot since I got it. These two little offshoots have happened since I've had it, and I'm not sure. I think this had started when I got it, but it's definitely grown. So that's exciting. I can't wait to see it bloom one day. That is my hope. So that's pretty much the top shelf and what I have growing up there currently. And then I guess I'm on a stool, so we're gonna come down, and I guess I can show you right here, because this is kind of part of the corner too. This I just recently showed in, I think it was my favorites video, but this is Anthurium spectable, another one I don't really hear talked about, but I think is such a cool little Anthurium. Something different, it grows so easily, it's very forgiving. I kind of told the story about it on that video, so if you're curious, maybe check that out. I don't want to rehash it. But yeah, really, really easy to grow. This is my Cissus quadrangularis, another one that was on my favorites, and I'm quite obsessed with it. I think that this is such a cool plant. For some reason, the leaves are yellowing, and I'm not sure what that's about. If it doesn't get enough water, it will drop the leaves, and so, I don't know. It doesn't feel bone dry. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. So it probably needs to be watered for sure. Everything's gonna get watered today. I find that in the winter months, things seem to dry out so much faster than in the summer, at least for me anyways. I think it's just because we're running the heat, the air is dry, and it just sucks the moisture right out of these pots. This is my King Anthurium, or Anthurium Vitsjo. Another one that in the past has given me trouble, but I think I have a good grasp on it now, and this is a new leaf. It's so beautiful. One thing that I love about Vitsjo is when the leaves are emerging, they look like they just drape, and they look ever so beautiful, just so elegant. I love the light coming behind it. It just kind of really enhances the whole thing. The only thing is once the leaf matures, they go everywhere. So as you can see, I kind of have them tied together just to kind of keep it from looking so all over the place. That's kind of the only downside to this guy. Once this leaf matures, I'm sure I'll have to do the same thing. But yeah, I find that this one doesn't require as much water as some of my other like velvety Anthuriums. In fact, I think that's kind of where I went awry the first time I had it. It was just like an overwatering issue, got fungal, and kind of died from there. But yeah, that was back in the day when I was very new. I think I have a good grasp on this guy now. And then right here is my Paradoxa. So this is Ripsalis Paradoxa. I have propagated this plant so many times. It's another one that if you've been around, you know I am obsessed with. I think this is such a stunning plant. It is so cool. I think it looks so elegant in this terracotta, and I love the way that it drapes. It's such a massive specimen, and I'm just really proud of it. As you can see, I've taken some cuttings and I've just stuck them in the pot. They are rooting. My goal is to kind of fill the whole thing out and not have this like sparse space back here. And yeah, they root easily. They give me no trouble. It's just such a cool plant. And then this is my Euphorbia trigona. I think it's just trigona, right? Yeah. And she's a little dusty. She could use a bit of a dusting. She has slowed down in growth since I moved her to this corner. She doesn't get the light that she used to get in the cactus window that I have, but she outgrew the space. So this is the space that I have for her. I'm thinking I'm going to move her outside once the spring rolls around. I think she's gonna love the pergola out there. And that will also free up the space here. But for the meantime, I think she looks really beautiful, just kind of hanging out in this little corner. And then underneath this shelf, I have my Anthurium radicans luxurians, which is just, it just speaks for itself, you guys. I love this plant. I've shown it many times on the channel, so I won't like take a long time on it, but this is her most recent leaf. Super proud of it. I think she is just so stunning. I love the way that the light comes in through the window here and just sort of gracefully kind of captures this whole space. And at certain times of day, you can just really appreciate that. I know it's a little backlit for you guys, which is unfortunate, but yeah. She also put out a beautiful flower, and it's looking like it's finally dying out, but it lasted a long time. And then I do have like a rando alocasia growing from here. Two of them actually. It looks like silver dragon and aslanii, which is funny because I cannot keep alocasias alive to save my soul unless they're growing in random pots of plants. Okay, and then here we are, Vitsjo. We'll go ahead and just talk about this shelf. I'll start at the top. I'm gonna have to get on this stool. But yeah, so let's get up there. All right, so the first one is this Syngonium chiapens. I love this plant so much. I know I've said that so many times now, but I have been able to propagate numerous times, and that's how I've kind of been able to fill this out. I did just recently repot it into a larger vessel of my homemade semi-hydro, which it seems to do really well in. A couple of these bottom leaves look like they need to go, but yeah, I just think it is such an easy statement plant, looks beautiful. I just personally love it. And then this is that little lipstick plant I was talking about. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this around, honestly, you guys. It's not done very well for me. I got it as a little tiny cutting, and I'm thinking about just bringing it to the plant swap tomorrow and just seeing if anybody is interested. It doesn't look like much. There's really not much to say about it, but that's kind of been the case the entire time I've had it. So yeah, it's not my favorite. And then up here, or behind here, is my Anthurium fingers, which has a new leaf coming back there. I only have 3 leaves on it, and the issue with this one is same as the clavigerum. The little leaves or the ends get like crispy. I don't love that, but I would love to see this plant do really well and potentially be able to breed with it. That's kind of the whole point or the whole reason that I got it. I love Anthuriums with these like wild little fingers. I was kind of hoping to get you guys a better shot of the new leaf, but it's just like way back there. Yeah, that's pretty much her. Not much to say. I haven't had it all that long. It's kind of, I think just kind of finding its place in the home and trying to establish itself. And then back here is it's a Clarinervium hybrid that I've had for a while. I have struggled with this one, but she is giving me a new leaf. It's a little bit wonky looking, but hopefully we've kind of figured each other out, and I don't know. I'm hoping that we're on the mend now and this plant will do well for me because it does throw out some pretty cool little leaves. So yeah, that's that. And then this is my baby. This is my Pallidiflorum. I am obsessed with this plant. That is an understatement. It is so beautiful. It looks like it's about to like give me double leaves here, which is kind of crazy. I don't really know what that's about, but we have like, it looks like a leaf coming from here and then from the main shoot. That would be so cool to get double leaves and kind of like fill it out a little bit more. I don't know. I love her so much. These are the leaves. How beautiful, right? Oh my goodness. Like, I just love the way that it looks on the shelf. Just the overall way that it catches the light coming through the window. This is its most recent leaf. I know it's backlit, I'm sorry, but it's just beautiful. This is an Anthurium that I highly recommend. Like, if you don't have this one and you're into strappy Anthuriums, this one right here and Vitarifolium are like, I mean, look at that. That is so elegant. I have these bars kind of everywhere, as you can see. They're just, I have some here, I have some here. These are actually not even on. Why aren't these on? Oh, I think I turned them off because the light is now coming in through the window. Because of this time of year, it's just lower in the horizon. So this does get quite a bit of light. I think that's why I turned them off, but I'll just kick them on. And then first shelf is, we'll start right here. This is my Wendy, my Anthurium wendlingeri. So beautiful. Another one that I'm like obsessed with. I just love a strappy Anthurium. Can't get enough of them. She's just chasing the light, as you can see. She's got a new leaf coming. You'll probably see her in a favorites. I think I just recently showed her in a favorites video, if I'm being honest, maybe like a couple months back. But she's a favorite, what can I say? And then over here, behind here, is a Vitarifolium that I got from the Green Escape. It actually came by accident. They had sent me the wrong plant, and so I am bringing this to the plant swap tomorrow. I am going to be bringing her to the plant swap tomorrow just to see if there's any interest. It is beautiful. I mean, the leaves are like everywhere. I just don't have the space for it. I have a huge mother plant, and yeah, I've grown it out as long as I can grow it, and I just need to find it a good home, basically. And then right here is just a little peperomia that I found at a grocery store. Honestly, it was the pot for me. I do like peperomias. I think they're wonderful. I do plan on taking this out of the pot and just putting it in water because I feel like peperomias do best in water. Same thing with the one behind. This is Peperomia Pink Lady, and I feel like while it looks nice and bushy in here, the edges get crispy, and when I put them in water, it doesn't seem to do that. So I think that's the plan. It probably is due for a repot, but yeah. So this is kind of like just little Peperomia corner. I do have a Gloriosum baby that I'm planning on bringing to the swap as well. Just looking for a good home for him. And then this is the little cactus that I did in my last video. It's looking like the scale is gone, but I don't know. I don't know if this guy's gonna make it or not. Really sad to see that. Hopefully he makes it. Yeah, sad. And then down here, I have my Anthurium villanorum, which I just recently showed in a favorites video. I love her. She is looking like she's about to, are you gonna give me a new leaf? No, I don't think so. She just gave me this leaf, so this one does tend to be a bit slower of a grower. I don't know why that is, but I am obsessed with this leaf that she's given me. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. This is Anthurium Zara, which I've recently just transitioned to ambient, and it seems like she's doing fine with that. This is her newest leaf coming in. It's gonna be so beautiful, cannot wait. This is Anthurium, it's a dark mag hybrid. I struggled with this since the moment I got it. I honestly don't think that it's going to make it. I refuse to continue on with this one in terms of like repotting and all the things. I don't know. I just can't be bothered. And then this is just a little Harborthia. I've had this forever though. Like this is something that I got in the very beginning of my collection, and yeah, I just love it. I just think it's so cool. I'm actually thinking I may put this into here. I think that's the plan, because this just, it's so easy. It just is no fuss, gives me no trouble type thing. This is something that I plan on trashing again with the spider mites. I don't know, I'm over it. I think that was a gigas cutting, and it's done. I'm over it, I'm done treating it. That's why I got rid of the original plant, because I just got sick of treating it over and over and over again. And then right here is the Anthurium Selby Silver crossed for Giddii. No, I'm sorry, Selby for Giddii crossed with Dock Block Michelle. That's her newest leaf. I just showed her in a favorites video, so I don't want to go on and on about it, but I think she is beautiful. A little bit slow to take off, but it feels like we are good now. I think she's happy in her spot. And then behind here, I don't know if you guys are even gonna be able to see it, but this is my Hoya carrii, the inner variegated. And I just kind of have the vine wrapping up the shelf here, which it seems to like. It does have some more leaves over here. It's kind of hard to show, but I don't like how this leaf is, see how that leaf is rusting right on the light? That's not gonna be good. I'll have to adjust that. It's a beautiful Hoya, but it is kind of tricky. Like it does drop leaves. The leaves will break off so easily. And in fact, I think I'm going to propagate it now that I have enough vine and just see if it restarts. And then in the back corner over here, this is my Hoya Crassia petiolata Splash. Another one that I am obsessed with. I think this is such a beautiful Hoya. I know it's a little bit difficult to see her, but I just kind of have her wrapped around this little handmade trellis that I made. It seems like she's, I don't think she's really doing much at the moment. This vine is putting out a couple little leaves, but I did just kind of rewrap it. So yeah, it kind of grows in spurts, I've noticed. And then coming down to the bottom shelf, I have this beauty. This is, who are you? Don't even remember. Hoya, or I'm sorry, Anthurium Dark Forgitii crossed Ace Crystal Red. And this is one that I did have to restart, and it is just like pupped everywhere. I would say that there is 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4 plants in this pot. And I should separate them, but I don't know, I kind of like having a nice full little pot of Anthurium because you don't really see that too often. It's usually just like, you know, 3 big leaves, which is great, but I guess this just is a little unique and different, and yeah, I think she's so cute. I think she's really cute. And then over here, let's see. Okay, over here I have, this is one that I got from Madison from Plant Therapy. She has a channel on here. And so this is Anthurium Silver Blush crossed with Forgittii White Stripes. And she sent this to me all the way from, I believe it was Washington State at the time. And if I can find the photo, I will pop it up on the screen of how this poor little guy started. The mailman just rattled him completely out of the pot. He was a tiny little seedling. I didn't think that he was gonna make it. And so the fact that we are here is so promising. The leaves are a little banged up, scuffed up, but the older the leaves get, the more mature it gets, the more I realize how beautiful this is going to be. The sinus is fused, and yeah, she has a new leaf coming. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to kind of see where this goes. Such a beautiful little plant. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have going on the Vitsjo shelf. I don't have any fans or anything like that, just the lights. So you can see I do have pink lights. The pink lights John actually got for me. He just gifted them to me. I thought that was so sweet. But he didn't realize that they were pink. It is a little confusing when you order these lights. Make sure you select the ones that you want. And they came in white. So I just decided to strap them onto the shelf, and I think it looks just fine. It also gives me the option to have more lighting here, and I do have just my little, it's a little Scindapsus, I think this is Scindapsus pictus. You guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I've taken some cuttings of, I had a huge pot of this, and the huge pot just kind of went downhill. So I took some cuttings and I'm starting over, and it's doing really, really well. I love Scindapsus. I feel like it's a genus that's not talked about enough, and I feel like they're really easy. They're just really easy to grow, and once you get them started, they look so beautiful. Like all the little spots. So yeah, my plan is to just continue to chop. Like I'm probably going to take some cuttings off this vine here, and then hopefully one day I'll have a nice full pot, kind of like this one up here, that I can display. And then this is my micans. I had a huge micans, and same thing, it just kind of went downhill. So I took a few cuttings, and I've just been continuing. I just recently took some more cuttings. They are propagating over there in the corner. And I'll do the same. I'll just continue to try to fill this little pot out until I have a nice big pot, because I do love the micans, and it's one that I miss having around. I'm not wild about like the trailing phyllos and the trailing, the pothos and things like that. I was in the beginning, but as my collection grew, I just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of phased out of it, I guess, but there are a couple that I still really love and enjoy looking at. So yeah, that's pretty much that, you guys. That is my Milsbo. I just hit the mic. I'm sorry about that if it made a big noise. So that is the Milsbo and the Vitsjo currently as it stands. And then in the next one, we will go over the corner over here. We'll talk about the plants in the window, these gals, all these Anthuriums here, and then my Blalladin cabinet, and then we'll talk about the Milsbo wide. Don't mind the microfibers I'm about to dust. So yeah, we'll kind of cover all of that in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hi guys, today is plant swap day, and I know the lighting is not great. I'm just kind of sitting in my car waiting to set up, but it is plant swap day, which is really exciting. I host these swaps. Usually it's the first of every month, but there was already an event planned for this month, so on the 1st. So we had to take the second Sunday, and that is totally fine. I have talked about these swaps several times in the past, but I have never shown them before, and that's mainly because, well, these are kind of sacred to me. I enjoy the Planty community that we have locally so much. I enjoy catching up with them and chatting with them, so it's kind of just, I just feel like if I film, it's going to take away from that, but also I'm not sure how much people want to be filmed, so I try to be respectful of that, and that's, I guess, largely why I haven't really filmed outside, like shopping about and things like that, is because I never know how people are going to feel about being on camera. But yeah, so we're here. I'm just kind of waiting for them to open the doors. I try to get here early so that I can get set up in case anybody has any questions. Usually it's the same crowd of people, but on the occasion we do get new people and sometimes they have questions. So I like to be available for those. And yeah, in the back is some of the plants that I have brought to swap today, which I'll show you guys a better clip of once I get set up. But yeah, I'm really excited to kind of show you guys around today. All right, you guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. The lighting is definitely not the best. Forgive me, I didn't want to set up the light for just the outro. But yeah, if you want to do a Q&A, let me know down below, and I'm excited about the next one to show you this corner here. There's a lot of Anthuriums. My Hoya Bella that I was talking about earlier, who's doing amazing, and yeah, just some really cool things to show you over here. I don't know, I kind of like doing these recaps periodically because to do a full houseplant tour is definitely extensive, and I do plan on doing that in the near future. We'll say probably the start of the year, you know, I'll do like another full houseplant tour, but it just takes a lot of time. I do have my most recent houseplant tour in my feed, if you will. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months ago, so it wasn't that long ago if you want to check it out if you're curious. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.